Ooh, welcome back, Halo followers. Today we got a juicy one. 343 just revealed some juicy details about what was going on with the Infinity in the beginning of Halo Infinite. And in fact, they're actually releasing a whole novel by Kelly Gay on August 9th, 2022. That is less than a month away, where we are actually going to be exploring the events that happened in the 6 months, actually, between Master Chief losing and going into space cryo, so to speak, for 6 months. And between that time and when the game actually starts, it's a massive area of Halo lore we don't know. So I want to read this excerpt, actually, or rather recap the more interesting parts of this excerpt. They actually released a 20-minute commentary, or narration, rather, of this book in the first chapter or so. Let's read the description of this book and what's going on here. December 2559, humanity has its back against the wall after the United Nations Space Command flagship Infinity drops out of slip space into a devastating ambush launched by the Banished, as this fierce enemy alliance seeks to claim a mysterious object hidden within the ancient foreigner construct known as Zeta Halo. The surviving UNSC corps now finds itself compromised and its leadership out of reach, with remaining personnel forced to abandon ship and take their chances on the fractured, unpredictable surface of the Halo Ring. They also go on to say, now survival in this strange alien environment, whether for Spartan super soldiers or those who never thought they'd see the battle up close, is measured day to day against a relentless and brutal adversary that always has the upper hand. Desperation grows, but the will to keep on fighting and enduring no matter the odds is never in doubt, even as the Banished seek to unleash a frightening new enemy that could doom them all. And I assume they're talking about the Endless. So obviously there are going to be spoilers in this video that I'm going to talk about, with not only technically the book, but also, from the excerpt, the public excerpt, but also the video game itself. So this is pretty cool. Like, the excerpt follows this Spartan stone, and they talk about how the Infinity is just roaring with alarms. Everyone's trying to get off the ship, everyone's trying to evacuate, but boy, the Infinity is failing. It's not supposed to. It's such a powerful machine and war machine, but it is failing. It's being destroyed by a Banished ambush. The Infinity has come here to essentially stop Cortana. In fact, they've been trying to do this for the past year, and a lot of people have passed away, as we actually read on Shadows of Reach, the quote apparition saying even the name Cortana is dangerous, because if that makes it onto a comm, Cortana will be attracted to that and probably kill whoever's talking about it, right? But anyway, so, the Infinity is basically shooting thousands of drop pods onto Zeta Halo, right? And it's true. A lot of people have survived the UNSC Infinity. We really don't know if Thomas Lasky or Sarah Palmer have survived, but we did read a little bit of it saying that they're in good hands. So I'm not quite sure what that means. I think maybe they did escape. I'm going to read this part here. Infinity had set out on a high-risk mission to stop the rogue AI, Cortana, right? The captain's steady voice is still echoed in her head. Captain Lasky to all hands. Banished forces are present above the ring. Repeat, Banished forces are between us and our target. All stations engage Banished craft. Infinity, we must reach our target. So absolute insanity is happening outside, which we see briefly in the beginning of Halo Infinite, right? I really do think that the first mission in this game should have been showing this. This sounds like such an exciting part of a game that could happen. I think it would be really fun DLC if we saw a little bit of a flashback of some sort and played a little bit maybe from another character's perspective while surviving on the ring, or seeing those Spartans that we saw passed away and how we got the Spartan equipment items throughout the campaign, right? So absolute insanity. They talk about how there's Banished Seraphs, Phantoms, and Grievers, and I think those are probably going to make it into the game at some point, right? And that there is just absolute insanity, explosions, yada yada. So they finally make it down to the surface, and that's when they come across what they say hundreds of acres of high alpine forest, which makes me roll my eyes a little bit because that's all we freaking saw in the game. But they do say massive snow-capped mountain range, which makes me a little excited, you know? Can we get some snow, 343? Pretty please. Maybe in the DLC or Halo 7. Now, do I think any of this is actually going to show up in DLC or the next game? Probably not. I thought that with Shadows of Reach. I thought that with a lot of this stuff, and it's kind of a bigger thing that I think 343 is really just trying to start from the beginning and start off like a whole little mini saga of stories here on Zeta Halo. Obviously this is something that we heard about quite a while ago. This book being called, Halo the Rubicon Protocol is really going to be focusing on Fireteam Shadow and their survival and the events that happened while Master Chief was drifting off in space. And I think we're going to get answers on August 9th about the Infinity and Thomas Lasky and maybe even Agent Locke. Although, I don't know. I don't know if they're holding off for explaining that one in the games, but it seems like a lot of juicy stuff that I wish they would explain in DLC, and it might be something that they explain in DLC, but it certainly feels like they are trying to reboot the franchise here. And I don't know. I mean, there's every question that you have about the Infinity and about the Fireteam Osiris is probably going to be answered in this book, or at least give us some kind of pointers as to what happened to Locke, what happened to Thomas Lasky, what happened to all these characters that 343 invested Halo 4 and 5. All right, that's like 10 years of Halo games into the franchise. What happened? What the hell happened to all these characters? What happened to all these storylines? Are they really rebooting Halo? Are they really trying to focus on an entirely new team now? I don't know. But you guys let me know your own thoughts about this down in the comment section below. I'm wildly excited about this. I mean, this is some juicy stuff. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one soon. All right, you take care.